الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الحدي حدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ثم أما بعد. We are back with al-Fiqh al-Muyassar, the book Fiqh Made Easy, or easy or simple fiqh. And we are reading Kitab al-Siyam, the book of fasting, from this book due to the coming of Ramadan. Previously, we dealt with the first chapter. The first chapter had seven sections. The first of them was the definition and clarifying its ruling, its pillars. The second section was dealing with the ruling of fasting and what is the evidence regarding is it obligatory or what. The third section dealt with the types of fasting. The fourth section dealt with the virtues of fasting and the wisdom in its legislation. The fifth section dealt with the conditions for fasting being obligatory upon a person. The sixth section, which we read yesterday, is determining the entrance of the month of Ramadan and its end or its completion. And the seventh section, the time of the niyyah, the time of having the niyyah. A question was asked by one of the brothers who attends the class, and that is, what about citing other months? Are citing other months similar to the month of Ramadan, meaning it needs one witness for the beginning maybe and two witnesses for the end? Rather, what is correct according to the likes of Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah and others is that all other months require two witnesses. Like Shawwal requires two witnesses, then all other months require two witnesses, but Ramadan is the only month that requires one witness. So when we say we require one witness for the entrance of Ramadan and two for the exit, we're not really saying two for the exit, we're saying two for Shawwal and two for every other month to enter, except for Ramadan, which is one witness. Right? One witness. And Allah knows best. But that's what the ulama say. Here we have al-Bab al-Thani. We have with us Abdul Latif and Amir. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll bring them in, and anyone else that wants to join. We have Masa Abdul Zahir. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
I'm good, walillah, alhamdulillah.
اوكي. بسم الله. الباب الثاني في أ- أعذار م- مبيحة للفطر والمف والمفردات الصيام. The second chapter in أعذر. I don't know what أعذر means. أ-
You don't know
أ-
what? A'dhar is the plural of udhr. Udhr, ain, dal, ra, which means an excuse. Udhr.
yeah.
A'dhar are excuses.
عذر, yeah.
Al-mubiha, meaning allowing something, right? The allowable excuses. The excuses which allow. Allow what? Lil fitr. They
Yeah.
allow one to break the fast. Wal mufattarat as-sa'im. And those things would break the fast of the fasting person, right?
Yeah.
وفيه
وفيه مسألتان, and in it are two issues. مسألة أولى. The first
al-mas'alatul ula. Why you can't say that, right?
المسألة الأولى.
No.
أعذار أعذار
A'dhar or al-a'dhar.
الأعذار
No.
مبيحة للفطر في Ramadan. The excuses that are permissible for breaking the fast in Ramadan.
No.
يباح
Yubahu.
يباح يباح فطري في رمضان لأحد لأحد
Li-ahadi.
لأحد الأعذار التالية. So it is permissible to break the fast in Ramadan in if the person has any one of these excuses which will follow, so which will be described below.
That's definitely explaining it. But li-ahadil a'dhari, due to one of the excuses, Italia, do one of the following excuses, right?
Yep.
I mean, you can explain it, and that's fine. I mean, it shows that you understand the meaning of it. But it's permissible to break the fast for a person if he has uh, fulfilled one of the following excuses. That's explaining it, not so much translating it, but that's fine. Alhamdulillah. At least you understand it. That's the main point.
Yeah. So الأول المريض واللي كبر.
Do you, do you see a ya in that word there?
No, كبر.
No, the first word.
Oh,
You see a ya in that.
مرض. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, مرض. المرض. المرض. وال المرض وكبر. فيجوز مريض الذي
What's this lamb right here? What's this lamb right there?
it's like it means for, so it's li.
But what is it in Arabic? What is it? What part of speech is it?
Oh, it's a proposition.
And it makes the noun after it what?
It makes it take a kasra, so it should be
No,
maridi.
it makes it majroor. It have Ramadan, and Ramadan is not going to take a kasra, right? Ramadan is going to take a fatha, but it's majroor, but it's mamnu min sarf, so it becomes majroor with a fatha, right? So don't just say it's going to take a kasra because that's not always the case. Sometimes it could be something plural, and it's going to take a ya, right? Or
mm,
so on. So the signs of majrur are four, right? And they're not always a kasra, right?
mm,
Although kasra is the asl, it's the foundation for something being majrur. There are also other signs of something being majrur, such as a ya or a fatha or like this, right? So fayajuzu lil marid what? What goes on the dad?
uh, I'm not sure.
A preposition makes it a majrur. So what
Yeah,
goes on?
it would be a
You just
kasra.
said give it a kasra, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so give it a kasra. Don't say lil maridu. Say lil maridi.
Yeah. I'm not strong in grammar. That's one of my weak. That's why I need
That's
to
why I
improve.
stopped. I'm not yelling at you if I raise my voice. That's how I talk. I apologize, but uh, I just asked you what does it do. You told me what it does, so you know what it do, you know what it does. So do it.
Okay. يجوز للمريض الذي يرجى برؤ ب م- رؤه الفطر. So it's permissible for the sick person who um does not hope that hopes with
Yurja, not yarja, or but yurja. Here's passive. Yurja. It is hoped. Bur'uhu. Bur'uhu, coming from ba ra alif. Bur'uhu. Bur, like bari, to be free from. Bur, like we have al wala wal bara. Bur means he'll be basically yurja bur'uhu. He'll be free from that sickness one day. He'll eventually be
yeah.
healthy again, right?
Mm,
Yurja bur'uhu, his recovery, his being free from that sickness. Yurja bur'uhu al-fitru.
yeah. فإذا
فيجوز للمريض, it's permissible for the sick person, الذي يرجى برؤه, that it is hoped he will recover, al-fitr. It is permissible for him to break his fast. The sick person who we hope will recover. He's got influenza. Probably not good for him to fast. He's got some type of sickness right now. We hope he's going to recover from it. It's permissible for him to break his fast.
yeah. Um, بر بره للفطر. Okay. فإذا برء
Bari'a,
واجب.
فإذا bari'a, if he becomes
uh,
safe, he becomes free from it.
فإذا برئ, if he becomes free from it, واجب عليه قضاء أيام التي أفطرها. And so it is obligatory upon him to make up the days that he broke his fast. لقوله تعالى, with the speech of the Most High, with his speech, the Most High, um, أياما معدودة فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة فعدة من أيام أخرى. وقوله, oh sorry, yeah, the days, the معدود.
A limited number of days. Ayyam and ma'dudat. A limited number of days. Ramadan is only a
Yeah,
limited number of days. It's not forever.
yeah,
فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيدًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, whoever from amongst you is sick or traveling, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, then a number of days from other days, meaning make up for them later on.
yeah,
But let's go back real quick. فَإِذَا بَرِيَ وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ قَضَاءُ الْأَيَّامِ. فَإِذَا, so if he becomes safe and healthy and free from that sickness, wajaba alayhi qada'ul ayami, becomes obligatory upon him the making up of the days alladhi aftaraha, that he broke fast in them. Liqawlihi ta'ala, due to his statement or his speech, but his statement is better here. His statement, the Most High, and we just did that. وَقَوْلُهُ or وَقَوْلِهِ. You can say قَوْلُهُ or قَوْلِهِ due to this lamb, because it still goes back to wali qawlihi, but doesn't matter. It's like it's a new sentence. So if you said wa qawluhu, it wouldn't be the end of the world, right?
وقوله تعالى فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى.
Ukha, ukha, not ukhra. There's no alif maksura there.
Sorry, أخر.
No.
So whoever witnesses from amongst you the month, let them fast, and whoever was sick or upon travel or traveling, um, to to count from to make them up or count from other days.
Yeah, for iddatun. So a number of days from so a number of days from other days. Meaning make it up on other days. طيب جزاك الله خيرا. يا عامر والمرض. Amr was with us. 1 second.
You can't hear me?
I hear you now. I was double clicking your thing and was when I click it, I put you on, and when I double click it, I put you on and take you right back off. So I was messing up.
والله بس السلام عليكم.
Walaikum salam rahmatullah.
والمرض الذي يرخص معه في الفطر هو المرض الذي يشق على المريض الصيام بسببه والمرض الذي and the sick, the sick, yeah, and the sick,
Sickness.
and the
Maradu.
yeah, and the sickness that's permitted to break the fast. It is the sickness that is difficult upon the sick person. Sometimes I get twisted here with
Siyamu. Here's the fa'il.
Right, yes.
Fasting would be difficult upon the sick person
For that
because
reason.
for that reason, right?
Um,
So والمرض الذي يرخص معه في الفطر, the sickness which gives the allowance to break the fast. هو المرض الذي يشق عليه المريض الصيام. It is the sickness which will become difficult for the sick person. Al-marad is the file here. The siyam should be a fatah. I'm sorry. It will make fasting difficult upon the sick person because of it. So a person, if he's sick and his sickness will become worse because of fasting, then it's permissible for him to break fast. Now, that means, for example, if I stub my toe, if I kick my toe on the edge of the door or bed, it hurts, right? Might hurt real bad. And you might find some of the Salaf, they fasted for this reason. My thumb hurts. Some of them did that, right? However, and we're not going to say it's not permissible, but we're going to say in general what the ulama say is a sickness that will, if I fast, that my sickness is going to get worse. It's going to become difficult upon me because of that sickness. So if I fast, is my thumb going to get worse? Is my toe going to get worse? Like this? No. Right? So therefore, most of the ulama will not allow that to be a reason for breaking the fast. أما المريض.
نعم. أما المريض الذي لا يرجى برؤه. As for the sick person, the one who has hopes for a cure,
لا يرجى لا
no,
يرجى.
who doesn't, who there's no hope for a cure. أو العاجز عن الصيام عجزا مستمرا.
مستمر, but yes.
مستمرا, yes, مستمرا كالكبير. And I got al-ajizu here as unable.
Yes.
So, okay, so and the unable, um, عن الصيام, unable to fast, and the unable who's unable to fast with the continuous inability as the as an old person.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
فإنه يفطر.
إنه يفطر.
يفطر, yes.
I'm sorry, yuftir. That fatah's up here on the, that's a kasra underneath the ba up there, but yuftir. فإنه yuftir. Then he breaks his fast. So the person who is sick, but we don't think he'll recover, such as a person maybe who has diabetes, a severe type of diabetes, and he always has to take this shot, and he always has to take this pill. He always has to have some type of sugar around him. He'll probably never get rid of that diabetes. He's not fat. He's not, way out of shape. He's in good shape, but he has diabetes. He has to take this. We're not hoping that he'll recover from this. He'll probably be on this medicine for life, right? Oh, al-ajiz on the siyam, ajzan mustamirran kal kabir, or someone who is not able to fast, is not sick, but he just don't have the ability, like an old person. Old people, they probably need to eat, or they don't have the ability to fast. They need that strength, right? There's something they need, that strength, right? So in the yuftir, then this person, he breaks his fast. Wala yajibu.
But they wouldn't even fast in the first place, correct?
Right. Yeah. Yuftiru meaning he doesn't fast.
Okay.
Right. Yuftiru meaning not he breaks his fast, but he doesn't even fast in the first place. Yes.
Okay. ولا يجب عليه قضاء القضاء, and it is not upon him to make it up. وإنما تلزمه فدية.
تلزمه. It's form 4, right?
No, it's وإنما تلزمه, then upon him is ransom required.
Fidyatun, nam, exactly. He has to make up for it by paying a fidya, like a kind of like a ransom, and yeah, like you pay a ransom for a child. I give you some money, you give me the kid back, right? I give some money and you give me the reward for fasting, basically, right? I feed somebody and you give me the reward for fasting.
تلزمه. Why did
Tulzimu is from form 4, right? And since fidya is feminine, then it has the ta there. Tulzimuhu, ulzimat, aslam. Ulzama yulzimu ilzam. Like aslama yuslimu islam. Like this.
نعم إن شاء الله. بأن is it بأن يطعم.
Anna with a shadda on it comes before a noun. And comes before a verb.
Gotcha.
Right? بأن
يطعم عن كل يوم مسكينا. And hold on, what is BN again? With that, can you say with
fidya
that?
is fidya. His fidya بأن يطعم, right? His fidya is that he
feeds
يطعم عن كل يوم مسكينا.
Yes, feeds, and by that he feeds a poor person every day.
Yep.
لأن الله عز وجل, because Allah عز وجل جعل الإطعام معادلا للصيام. He made the feeding equal to fasting.
جعل الإطعام, because it is the مفعول به. What did he make? He made feeding, right? معدلا للصيام.
Just fixing my errors here.
No problem. Now, I would suggest if you're writing on your paper, and that's fine, right?
Mhm.
If you're writing on paper, it's fine. That you also print out the paper again without anything on it. So eventually, you get away from the paper with the writing. You understand? Practice it. Go back. Maybe record yourself looking at the paper without writing, and then without the writing on it, read it from there, record yourself, and then go back and listen to it and compare to the one with the writing, for example, right? So that you can see where you might have made a mistake in this and that, and work on that particular point of grammar or whatever the case might be. Other than that, eventually you want to have two of them, alhamdulillah, the PDF, or eventually you'll have the book, and then you write on the paper and don't write in your book. Don't write your vowels in there like that.
Inshallah. I get just confused sometimes with the maf'ul bihi. Sometimes I put a dhamma. Sometimes I see after the verb there's a dhamma on the noun. Is
No.
that, but it depends, I guess, what the context is. Correct?
What do you mean? What are you saying?
So if there's like جعل الإطعام, that wouldn't be correct because of the
Ja'ala.
right,
Right.
because of ja'ala.
Al-it'amu is normal, but it'ama here is because it's a maf'ulun bi. It's the object of the verb.
Right.
Ja'ala al-it'ama. He made feeding, right, equal to, right, mu'addalan, basically equal to fasting.
So
And then we're going to get a reason here coming up, inshallah ta'ala. Hina.
حين كان تخيير بينهما, when there is a option between them.
No, there was.
Yeah, كان, when there was an option between them. Two, في أول ما فرض الصيام.
Now, in the beginning, when fasting was first made obligatory upon the Muslims, there was a choice. You could fast or you could feed someone. It wasn't in the beginning when fasting was made obligatory. It was not obligatory to fast. You had a choice. You could feed someone or you could fast. Right? So Allah made them equal then when he made that choice for them, when he gave the people that choice to feed or to fast, he made them equal. He made feeding and fasting equal. So likewise, when a person is marid, la yurja bur'ahu, it will not hope that his recovery from that sickness is not, plausible. Could happen, but we don't think that it will happen. Oh, huwa ajizun an as-siyam, ajizun mustamirran ka al-kabir, or he is unable, incapable, and a constant or continuous inability, like someone who's big. Then he yuftir, he breaks his fast. He doesn't fast at all. Wa yut'imu miskinan an kulli yawm, and he feeds someone, a poor person, every day. Then this shows the equality of fasting and feeding, because in the beginning they were a choice. فتعين,
so it is necessary أن يكون بدلا, that there be a compensation, that there is a compensation عنه عند العذر. عذري, is it? عذري, نعم. That there is a compensation for the excuse.
So what did you say فتعين was?
That it's necessary.
Ta'ayyana, meaning it was ta'ayyana, to ayyana, yu'ayyinu, or ta'ayyana, yata'ayyanu, meaning to appoint something, to specify or to appoint. So here it was appointed to be a substitute for fasting in anhu, on fasting, and al-udhr, for or due to an excuse, in the with the presence of an excuse. For ta'ayyana, so therefore it was the word is not to be obligatory, but it is to be as I just said, I can't remember the word I just said just now. SubhanAllah. To be marked or to be appointed. So it was appointed or it was assigned or made specifically a ta'ayyana, meaning, for example, if we appoint someone, like the president all the time appoints someone as Secretary of State. It's not a voted position. He appoints that person, right? He says, so and so is this, so and so is that. This is ta'ayyana, right? So ta'ayyana here, so it was appointed as a substitute, a badl, right? Anhu and al-udhr. Got it? طيب. We have with us our long lost buddy. You got a question?
No, I just said that Bedel, he just rang the bell.
No, I did the same thing for him. I double clicked him. Faiz, assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم يا إخوان؟
أهلا وسهلا.
حياك الله.
ما شفنا من وقت الزمان والله.
والله أنا آسف، أنا مشغول جدا.
الحمد لله، لا يعينك.
آمين.
طيب أنت معنا؟ يقول الإمام.
أوكي إن شاء الله. يقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يقول الإمام البخاري رحمه الله. And Imam Bukhari, may Allah have mercy on him, says, وأما الشيخ الكبير إذا لم يتق الصيام فقد أطعم أنسا بعدما كبر عاما أو عامين عن كل يوم مسكينا. وأما الشيخ الكبير إذا لم يتق الصيام. As for the elderly person who cannot bear fasting, he should basically feed one poor person for every missed day of fasting.
Well, yeah, that's what we said earlier. But فقد أطعم أنس بعدما كبر عاما أو عامين.
Right, and Anas, when he became too old to fast, right? فقد أطعم أنسا بعدما كبر, when he عاما أو عامين, he became too old to fast. He fed one poor person for each day missed.
Yeah, he did that for a year or two.
For a year or two.
Before he passed away, right? أطعم أنس عاما أو عامين بعدما كبر. He fed someone for a year or two after he became old, right? An kulli yawmin miskinin, for every day a poor person.
Is this
not good. Huh? Say
is
it.
this referring to Anas, Malik ibn Anas, the Sahabi, or just Insan?
Anas ibn Malik.
Yes, Anas ibn Malik.
No, he's not going to say it here, but the fiqh is what? Go ahead, say it again.
I said when I looked at the dictionary, Anasin also means like the human or humanity or something like that.
No, yeah, but here Anas means radiyallahu anhu, the Sahabi, after he, right? So it's talking about At'ama's past tense. Who is it? Anas radiyallahu anhu, ba'dama kabura. You have to get it from the context, and it's going to come with the context will be clearer and clearer the more you read, right? So he's not going to say it here, but the ulama talk about, can you do this every day? Yes, you could feed the same poor person every day, or you could feed 30 poor people at one time, right? you could do it like this, right? You could feed a different poor person every day. You could do all of those things as long as there are 30 people fed for one time. We're not going to talk about it in this chapter, but that's permissible. Also, a warning is that you don't want to feed the masjid. For example, my mom can't fast because she's old, so therefore I'm going to buy a dinner in the masjid, and I'm going to put $200 in the masjid for or 300, whatever it is. I'm going to send food there and have the masjid catered, and I'm going to feed people on her behalf because more than 30 people show up. Yes, true, but not everybody that shows up is poor. You want to make sure that there's 30 people in there who qualify to be fed. Otherwise, you might feed 150 people and only feed two poor people, and you still owe 28 days for yourself or your mother or whoever you're feeding upon. You understand? So you want to make sure of that. طيب. قال ابن عباس
وقال ابن عباس في الشيخ الخبير والمرأة الخبيرة لا يستطيعان أن يصوما فليطعما مكان كل يوم مسكينا. And قال ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما said about the elderly man and the elderly woman, the Shaykh al-Kabir and Shaykh والمرأة الخبيرة, the elderly man and his and the older woman who cannot fast, لا يستطيعان أن يصوما, who are not unable to fast, then they should basically, if they cannot fast, they should feed one poor person for each day missed.
No. Makana here in place of, basically. Makan means place. For youth imam makana kulli yawm. So they feed in a place of every day. Miskinin, poor person. By you. I'm going to read the next one, inshallah, for us. فَيُطْعِمُ الْعَاجِزُ عَنَ الصِّيَامِ عَجَزًا لَا يُرْجَى زَوَالُهُ. So the ajiz on the siyam, the one that is incapable of fasting, he feeds. The one who's ajiz, the one who is inability, la yurja zawaluhu. It is not hoped that it will go away, meaning he's probably not going to get any healthier, any younger. He's going to, whatever his inability is probably going to be there forever. Fayut'im. So then he feeds. Bi maradin kana o bi maradin kana o I want to say kibrin, but I'm kibarin. Bi maradin, due to a sickness. This ajiz is sickness. Oh, kibar, or it's big, his old age. An kulli yom, and this should be separate there. Kulli yom. An kulli yom miskinin. So he feeds one person, poor person, every day. Nisfa, what does he feed? Yut'im nisfa sa'in. He feeds a half of a sa'. A sa' is a mud, 4 muds, right, of food. 4 handfuls. You put your 2 hands together, like you see these little prayer hands or whatever in the selfies, right, or in the text messages. 2 hands together like this, full. Then that's a mud, and a sa' is 4 muds. Min bur. Bur is wheat. Bur. Min bur'in. O tamrin. Or dates. O urzin. Urz. Rice. O urzin. Rice. O nahwiha. O nahwiha. Or similar to that. Similar to bur. O tamr. Or ruz. Min kutil balad. From the food stuff, the kut, the food stuff of the land, right? From the food stuff of the land. So it could be noodles, could be something that is stored. These kut means something that can be stored and kept. You don't give them fresh bread. Fresh bread is going to go rotten. It's going to mold, right? You don't want to give them fresh meat. That's not part of it. No. Tamar, urz, bur, raisins, dried yogurt, right? Things which can last. ومقدار الساعة, and this also should be a space there that's not there. ومقدار الساعة, and the miqdar, the amount of a sa, the amount, miqdar of a sa is kiloan wa ruba. Kiloan, 2 kilos, 2 kilograms, right? 2 kilograms. Kiloan wa ruba taqriban. So 2.25 kilograms approximately. Taqriban, approximately. فَيَكُونُ الْإِطْعَامُ, so the feeding an kulli yom, for every day, kilogram wa miya wa khamsata wa ishrina graman. And we say gram. That gene is Misri here, right? That's a Misri gene, Egyptian gene, right? An Egyptian gene. So how do they say? They say masjid. Masjid. Here we say gram. We don't say gram. We say gram, right? Kilogram wa miya wa khamsata wa ishrina graman. And you can see that here, right? So 1.25 gram, 1.25 kilos basically, taqriban, approximately, right? Hada wa insam al maridu. Hada, this is how it is. This is how it is, what we just described. Hada, meaning this is how it is. Wa insam al maridu, but if the fasting person, or if the sick person fasted, sahha siyamuhu, his fasting is correct. Wa ajza'ahu, and it is, he will be rewarded for that. If he does fast, even if he's sick, he will be rewarded for it. Tayyib, urz, someone asked in the comments, urz is ruz, rice. Urz, ruz. It's a foreign word. Rice didn't exist during the time of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, it existed, but they didn't know about it. The Sahaba were the ones who found out about rice, right? When they traveled, but rice was not known in the Arabian Peninsula at the time of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So some people say ruz, some people say urz. Urz, that's it. Urz. It's written right here. Urz.
Isn't that also pronounced as aruz?
It's a foreign word. You can pronounce it rice if you want. You know what I mean? It's a foreign word. So some people might say uruz. Some people might say urz. Some people might say ruz and write it differently. It's a foreign word. Just like you'll have Inglizia, Ingilizia, Inkalizia with a calf. You understand? Some people will pronounce the gene like Misr, Inglizia. Some people will pronounce it the gene of the Arabs, Ingilizia. Some people will put it with a calf, Inkalizia. It's a, you're talking about English is a foreign word, so they can write it different ways. But the word here, and if you listen to Sheikh Suleiman al-Rahili, he says urz. And he says it very distinctly. Tayyib. Urz. Tayyib. Let's read this second udhr. I don't know why I thought I was going to get through all four of them, but let's read the second one. Abdul Latif, Iqra lana, up until the end of the ayah.
الثاني سفر فيباح لمسافر لفطر في رمضان.
There's no lamb there. There's no lamb. You got me putting the cussor there, and there isn't one. يباح للمسافر الفطر. يباح الفطر للمسافر في رمضان.
يباح مسافر for the مسافر
الفطر
في رمضان ويجب عليه قضاء لقوله تعالى فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى
من
أخر
أخرى.
أخرى أخرى sorry.
طيب طيب.
Um, okay. So whoever amongst you is sick or traveling, then it is to count from other days. I make it up. وقوله تعالى فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصومه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر. Did I read the same thing? No, it's not exactly okay. So whoever witnesses from amongst you the month, let them fast it, and whoever is sick or upon traveling, then count from other days.
طيب. فيباح للمسافر الفطر في رمضان. So it's allowed for the person traveling to break fast during Ramadan. ويجب عليه القضاء, and it's obligatory upon him to make it up. لقوله تعالى, due to his statement, the Most High, and then the two ayat which the brother translated for us, right? But he didn't translate for us the sentence up above, so no problem. Amir, اقرأ لنا. Maybe if we switch it up, we'll go quicker.
Okay, inshallah.
ولقوله
صلى الله عليه وسلم لمن سأله عن الصيام في السفر. And due to the statement due to his sallallahu alayhi wasallam statement, for the one who asked him about the fast during travel, in شئت فصم, if you want fast, وإن شئت hold on, فأفطر. فأفطر, okay.
No.
And if you want, then break your fast.
No.
وخرج إلى مكة صائما في رمضان, and he went out towards Mecca fasting during Ramadan. فلما بلغ الكديد أفطر. One second. When he reached Al-Kadid, what's Al-Kadid?
A place.
Okay. When he reached Al-Kadid, he broke his fast. فأفطر الناس, and the people broke their fast.
No.
One
second. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna go sentence kind of thing. It might make it a little faster on us. Faiz, yalla. انت معنا؟
نعم. ويباح الفطر في السفر الطويل الذي يبيح فيه قصر الصلاة، وهو ما يقدر ب8 أو 40 ميلا، أي حوالي 80 كيلومترا. يباح الفطر في السفر. Breaking the fast is permissible during a long journey, right? سفر الطويل الذي يبيح فيه قصر الصلاة, where shortening of prayers is also present. يباح الفطر في السفر الطويل.
He allows. يباح, it is allowed.
ويباح الفطر في السفر الطويل الذي يبيح في قصر الصلاة.
يباح again. Same word.
يباح في قصر الصلاة. نعم. Okay.
We're gonna get you and Abdul Latif together, and we're gonna get a ruler, man. Every time y'all make up a word, we gonna smack your head, man. Every time y'all add a letter, make up a word, we gonna hit you, man. يباح فيه قصر الصلاة. طيب.
Oh yeah, يباح فيه قصر الصلاة. So breaking the fast is permissible during a long journey, where shortening of prayers is also permissible.
One second. He's telling us, I'm sorry. He's telling us what travel is allowed. What travel is allowed. The traveling where it's permissible for us to shorten the salat, it's permissible for us to break fast. If the traveling is not permissible for us to shorten salat, if whatever distance or something, if we're doing something, but that doesn't allow us to break the fast, to shorten the salat, then it's not allowed for us to break the fast. وهو يقدر
وهو
ما
وهو ما يقدر بثمانية أو وأربعين ميلا, which is approximately 48 miles, right? 40 ميلا أو حوالي 80 كيلومترا, or 80 kilometers.
No. حوالي around. حوالي means around. 80 kilometers. So around 80 kilometers or 48 miles. Right? So we're gonna let Abdul Latif. We're gonna go sentence, inshallah. Abdul Latif, yalla.
وسفر مبيح للفطر في رمضان هو سفر مباح فإن كان سفر مأسية أو سفرا يراد به تحيل على فطر لم يباح له فطر بهذا السفر. Okay. And for the traveler, it is permissible to break fast in Ramadan. Sorry, and the one who is permissible for to break his fast in Ramadan is the permitted or is the allowed travel. So verily, I'm not sure.
Can, not verily. Can is a verb, so this is for in. So if it is,
I'm not sure.
or if it was.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, if it was a travel of disobedience, so yeah, matsiyati, yeah. If it was a travel of disobedience or matsiyati, or safaran yuradu, or a rejected, or is rejected with him.
So yuradu, from arada yuridu, meaning it is wanted by it, is intended by it.
Oh, a travel which is intended with it. I'm not sure what that means.
Tahayyul is to allow to make something, like to make it.
Oh,
right?
okay.
You're trying to use a trick. Tahayyul al-fitri. So your tahayyul is a one. Yeah, tahayyul is using, it's a trickery. So I'm not really wanting to travel. I don't want to go to Chicago, or I don't want to go to London, or I don't want to go to Brixton, wherever it is you are. I'm in London. I don't want to go to Brixton, and we consider that a travel in the UK. But I want to break my fast today, so I'm gonna drive up there so I can not eat, or so I can eat and not break and not fast. No, tahayyul, to tricking, to try to play a game for breaking fast, right?
Yep.
I want to be with my wife. I got a strong desire. I want to be with my wife today, but I ain't got no reason to be with her. I'm a resident. I ain't going. So we gonna drive up to Chicago so that we can be together. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna drive 5 hours just so we can go up here and do this thing here, or 2 hours, go to Bloomington, for example, right? Illinois. We're gonna drive 2 hours, or Jefferson City, something we consider to be a travel. We're gonna drive 2 hours so that we can be together that day. There's no reason for me to travel. Only reason I'm doing is I'm playing a game. Tahayyulu ala al-fitri.
Upon breaking the fast, lam yubahu lahu fitr bihada safar. So it's not permissible for him to break the fast with this travel, with the travel.
لم يبح له الفطر بهذا السفر. So, in other words, the traveling has to be a traveling which is permissible. The traveling has to be a traveling which is permissible. I'm traveling to go rob a bank. The only reason I'm going to Chicago is because I'm going to rob a bank. That traveling to Chicago does not allow me to break my fast. I'm going up there for a concert. The only reason I'm going there is for some musical concert. That traveling does not allow me to break my fast nor to shorten my prayer. It has to be a permissible travel, right? السفر المبيح للفطر في رمضان هو السفر المباح. It's the permissible travel. فإن كان سفرا معصية, I'm traveling because of some type of sin. Traveling for a sin. أو سفر يراد به التحيل على الفطر, or travel which I'm trying to just do just to play a trick so that I can break fast. لم يبح له الفطر بهذا السفر. I'm going to read the last one, inshallah, just because of tight time, and then if there's any questions, inshallah. وَإِنْ صَامَ الْمُسَافِرُ, but if the traveler fasts, صَحَّ صَوْمُهُ, his fasting is correct. وَأَجْزَأَهُ, and he is rewarded for it. لِحَدِيثِ أَنَسٍ radiallahu anhu, due to the hadith of Anas radiallahu anhu, كُنَّا نُسَافِرُ كنا نسافر مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. We were traveling with the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. فلم يعب, and it should be a sukoon there, but because of the sad here, right here, we're going to put a kasra there for reading purposes, so we don't have two sukoons next to each other. فلم يعب الصائم, so the fasting person, لم يعب, from the word aib, he did not criticize. Al-muftir, he did not criticize the fasting, or the person who broke his fast. The one who was traveling and he was fasting, he didn't criticize the one who was not fasting. Oh, you're weak. I'm traveling. This ain't no real travel. This ain't hard. Look at this. We all got camels and horses. We all got everything. What are you breaking fast for? He didn't criticize them. وَلَا مُفْتِرُ عَلَى الصَّائِمِ, nor did the one who was breaking fast or not eating, nor did he criticize the one who was fasting. You know, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, لَيْسَ مِنَ الْبِرِّ الصِّيَامُ فِي السَّفَرِ, there's no righteousness to fast while traveling. You know, you guys shouldn't be fasting. It's a rukhsah from Allah. It's better. They didn't criticize each other. That doesn't mean you can't advise. It doesn't mean you can't advise, but you don't criticize one another and look down upon one another. Lam ya'ib. Walakin, however, but be shartin, with a condition. This is with a condition. Meaning his fasting will be accepted. If he's a traveler, his fasting is accepted. Sahha wa ajza'a, bi shart, with a condition. Allah and la yashukku, or yashukka, because of the n. There's a hidden n here. N plus la. So n yashukka alayhi as-sawm, that the fasting does not make things difficult for him. Fi safari, does not make him sick. It's not going to make him so tired. You know, it's not going to, you know, he's going to for a purpose. He's not going to be able to fulfill that purpose because he fasted, right? He's so tired and worn out, right? Or it's going to make him sick, stuff like this. Then at this point, فَإِنْ شَقَّ عَلَيْهِ, so if it's difficult upon him, if it becomes a burden upon him, أَوْ أَضَرَّهُ أَوْ أَضَرَّ بِهِ, or he's harmed by it, أَوْ أَضَرَّ بِهِ, so it's difficult or he's harmed by it, فَالْفِطْرُ فِي حَقِّهِ, then breaking fast in his condition, in his right, according to his situation, أفضل, it's better. Breaking fast at this time is afdal. Akhidan, taking birukhsati, taking the rukhsa, taking the allowance that Allah has given us. لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رأى, because the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم saw في سفر or في سفري, in a travel, rajulan صائما. He saw a man fasting. قد ذلل. قد ذلل عليه. This dhullila from dhad lam, this is form 2. It means he was being shaded, right? Min shiddatil har, due to the severe heat. He was being shaded. وَتَجْمَعُ النَّاسُ حَوْلَهُ. The people were gathering around him, shading him. They were standing around him as if to block the sun from him and give him shade, right? فَقَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم لَيْسَ مِنَ الْبِرِّ الصِّيَامُ فِي السَّفَرِ. There is no righteousness in fasting for the traveling person. Meaning, he's making himself so sick, he's laying on the ground, and the people have to shade him from the sun. There's no righteousness in this. It's better for him to fast. Are there any questions?
لا.
Give a second for people to type. 1 second here. Let's see, what is this? Private message. He says, Assalamu alaikum. No problem. So, yeah. Let me see him go up here. Urz. Yes, rice. I heard a sheikh saying that. Talking about hurting your toes or something. You heard a sheikh saying that you can't do it or you can do it. Some of the Salaf did it. One of the Salaf had a hurt thumb and he fasted, or he broke his fast. He said, my thumb hurts. Right? When you get as righteous as the Tabi'een, then you can fast because your thumb hurts. No problem. Inshallah, we're going to close. Yeah, you can break your fast. You can break your fast when he's saying you can break your fast because your toe hurts or your thumb. If you want to follow the Tabi'een, you say this is what he did and he's from our Salaf, no problem. No problem. But you have to answer to Allah Azza wa Jal on that day. On that day, you have to answer to Allah Azza wa Jal. So if you believe that this is the way of the Salaf and it's permissible and you're ready to stand before Allah on the day of judgment, go for it. Other than that, then say, I don't think that this fasting is going to bother me. I don't need to take any Tylenol or Panadol or whatever the case might be, ibuprofen during the day, because of the pain, and therefore I don't need to swallow or drink anything. Then it's up to you. But if you think that you can stand before Allah with a legit reason, then that's everything in life. It's about sincerity, and this is like the Prophet ﷺ, the hadith where it said that Anas radiallahu anhu said, فَلَمْ يَعِبْ الصَّائِمُ عَلَى الْمُفْتِرِ وَلَا الْمُفْتِرُ عَلَى الصَّائِمِ. We're not going to blame each other. As long as you can stand before Allah Azza wa Jal and you're sincere about it, man, I'm with you. The last question, what are the things that qualify someone to be poor? Of course, there's a difference between the word miskeen and faqir, but here the word is used by itself. If they're used together, as in the ayat of, if they're used together as in the ayat which talks about the categories of zakat, where they're to be given, then they have a different meaning, faqir and miskeen, because they're both used. But when they're used individually, then they have the meaning of one another. They both basically mean poor, and they're both included. However, the poor person is the one who cannot afford to pay his own bills. The poor person is one who has trouble paying his bills. Maybe this month I pay the electric bill and I only pay half the gas bill. Right? And next month I'll pay the whole gas bill, even what I'm behind on, and I'll give half the electric bill. Or, I got to talk to my landlord. I'm going to be behind on my rent a little bit because of this. This is a poor person, the one who cannot fulfill all of his needs. That doesn't mean he doesn't have money, right? And this is important. Allah Azza wa Jal, he describes in Surah Al-Kahf. He describes in Surah Al-Kahf when we're talking about Musa alayhi salatu wasalam and Khidr. Khadr. It's Khadr. When he describes it with Khadr. Khadr, he talks about him and he says that he put a hole in the boat. Right? Why did you put a hole in the boat? Later on, I'm trying to find an ayat so I don't misquote it. Why did you put a hole in the boat? He says, I'm sorry. I'm went forward, went back. Anyway, why he says here, I'm almost there. He says, أما السفينة فكانت للمساكين. Then as for the boat, it belonged to some poor people. يعملون في البحر. They were working on the sea. فأردت أن أعيبها. So I wanted to cause it to have this blemish or this damage so that the people in front of it wouldn't take it. But here we have people who work, who have a boat, right? And yet Allah calls them miskin, masakin. So people like to say there are no poor people in America because they're not sitting in the middle of a desert or on top of a mountain, not having any food, crying with their stomachs poked out and flies swinging around their face or something like this. They know them the real poor people. Okay, yes, those people are poorer than these poor. But sometimes those people are happier than these poor, Anyway, a person has a taxi cab. He's driving around and he's got his own car or his Uber and he's driving, yet he's having problem with his bills. This person is poor. But he's got a car, he's got a house, he's got some food, he's got some things. But he's still struggling to pay his bills. He's still living month to month and sometimes not fulfilling all of his obligations every month. He's struggling. This is a poor person. This is the poor person. Now, does that mean that someone overseas is not more deserving? Of course, someone overseas is probably more deserving. But a poor person is the one who is not able to fulfill all of his needs every month. That's the minimum poor. Or, that's the minimum poor. And then there's more poor than that, right? There's a minimum for being qualified as poor. And then there's people who are poorer than that. People who don't have anything, can't pay any of their bills. People who can't, and so on. طيب. Inshallah, we'll meet tomorrow and we'll go over the other two. Bi'idhnillah, the other two people who have excuses, and we'll enter into the next chapter as well because it's only a half a page. Jazakumullah khairan. Any questions, as always, send me a message. We'll see you there, inshallah ta'ala. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.